When I was young, I didn't like to read. I thought that books were for children or for people who didn't have a TV. Up to the age of 11, I only read fairy tales or books for school. French literature introduced me to a whole new world. Captain at 15 by Jules Verne and The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas convinced me that decoding characters on a page could be fun. I've been learning French for the last 3 years, and usually when I read, I can understand about 90%, of course depending on the book. This requires more effort and focus on my part, so I don't do it enough. I decided to challenge myself and go on this French Readathon, read in French for a week. Here are the books that I'm going to read. The Phantom of the Opera, or Le Fantôme de l'Opéra. I haven't seen the movie or the musical, but this story is so popular that I know some parts of the plot and songs. I know that it has something in common with Edgar Allan Poe's works and Beauty and the Beast. I don't have great expectations for this. It seems melodramatic, a little bit too melodramatic for my taste, but at least it doesn't seem too intimidating in terms of vocabulary, and it's still outside my comfort zone. The second book I'm going to read is The Human Beast, or La Bête Humaine by Émile Zola. I've read The Kill, or La Curée by the same author, and I can say that he's really amazing at writing villains. He's so good at describing the most awful human instincts, like they're parts of a mechanism of some sort. At the end of the book, you realize that everything that was put into motion at the beginning ended exactly where it should have, that it had no other choice if you think about the characters and their personalities. The Human Beast is a naturalist psychological thriller about infidelity, crime, and death. I want to read it mostly because it's a response to Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment, and I love Crime and Punishment. I think that this is going to be the most challenging one in terms of vocabulary, but Zola's writing is so provocative that maybe it will motivate me to look up words. I hope that Zola will attack me with his words once again, just like he did in The Kill, and that he will leave no room for subtleties or false humility. The third book is going to be The Last Day of a Condemned Man, or Le Dernier Jour d'un Condamné by Victor Hugo. This is a short story about a man who is sentenced to die. It was written in opposition to the death penalty, and I expect it to be tense and painful. Dostoevsky wrote that. This is absolutely the most real and truthful of everything that Hugo wrote. I love The Hunchback of Notre Dame and Les Miserables, and I think that Hugo is going to enchant me once again, and I'm ready for it. If you want to join me on this French readathon, feel free to make up your own lists of French books and write them in the comments. You can read them in translation or in French, doesn't matter, as long as you encounter these geniuses of the French literature. Next week I'm going to review these books, so if you're interested, stay tuned. But for now, thanks for watching, bye!